Uh, and there we go. Hello everybody, I hope that I know I overstayed my welcome. I said that this was, or not this was, the video was the last video about the Battlefield 3 Alpha, but I really just wanted, maybe this isn't even about the Alpha anymore, maybe this is more about the community surrounding Battlefield. I just wanted to just talk about this a little more in depth, about the a lot of people have been invited, or not too many, screw it. A lot of people have been invited to the alpha, and a lot of people enjoyed it, and a lot of people weren't, as thrilled as us who enjoyed the Battlefield 3 alpha. And they were saying that, Battlefield 3 isn't the true heir to Battlefield 2, and that Battlefield 3 is basically Medal of Honor plus Bad Company 2. I guess that everything you say is valid. I guess. But the question is this a bad thing? I guess they're streamlining and lining it a little for all the let's be nice, for all the people who don't play as much games as other Battlefield players do, or for all the casual gamers. And as I said in the previous video, we've got to look at this realistically, because most people, when they've had a long day at work or a rough day at school, or whatever, they come home and they don't want an overcomplicated game to play. Not to say that Battlefield 2 was that overcomplicated. I mean, damn, you gotta be some kind of to not get what you're supposed to do in that game. But you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that some people, they didn't want to think way too much, so they're basically just making the system a lot easier in Battlefield 3 to learn and to navigate and all that. And I'm pretty sure that this is still just an alpha. They can do a lot of things. They can add a lot of things in the final product that we didn't see any indication of in the alpha. I've had a lot of fun with the multiplayer, and I can understand Battlefield 2 veterans' opinions and how they feel about BF3 Alpha. I feel like a lot of it is just exaggeration, and you know how fans are. They can get pretty obnoxious. I know I can, especially about stuff I'm passionate about. But I think that BF players, you guys who feel that BF3 is dumbed down for all the retards, all I can say is try to appreciate Battlefield 3 for what it is. Don't try not to try to judge it on its own merits rather than comparing it to Modern Warfare 2. I feel that's, wait, did I just mention, god damn it, I mean Battlefield 2. God damn, you see, that's what I'm talking about. Fuck it. Try not to compare it so much to Battlefield 2. I know that, a lot of people are now screaming like, are you mad? Are you bloody mad? How can you have a sequel that's not resembling its predecessor in any way? Blah, blah. I can understand that, but still, I don't feel like, they did an enormous leap from Battlefield 1942 to Battlefield 2. In my opinion, Battlefield 1942 was equally as dumbed down as Battlefield 3. Maybe even dumbed down. Oh no, this is a double negative. Fuck that. Maybe it's that Battlefield 3 is even more complex than 1942, which I guess that's something you have to expect. There's something called FPS evolution. I doubt that. If first-person shooter games looked exactly the same today as they did 20 years ago, and I'm not talking about graphics. I mean just the design of each game. If it was identical, I'd be a little, what's going on in the industry? Is anybody using their brains, or is everybody just, busy copy pasting shit? So I don't think that change is in any way bad. I think that you have to just, I guess, learn to love Battlefield 3 at its own merits. If you feel that you can't, if you feel that the game is like, the only time I would ever say to a multiplayer that it's shitty is that if it's not balanced, if it's just fundamentally broken, both in its mechanics and in its balance system. Like if there's if they introduce a weapon in the beta which has 200 bullets, no recoil, and it kills everybody with one shot, yeah, that what, that kind of ruins the multiplayer experience for me. I think that the Battlefield 3 alpha was, it was really solid. Everything worked seamlessly. Everything was super fluid. The only thing that really made me, wouldn't say rage, but made me a little, why can't I have, that kind of feeling where you're like really just frustrated, was when I had a shitty team. That's something I've noticed. You can't get away from shitty players. That doesn't matter which game you play. Shitty players will be up your ass all the time. They will follow you like a rash. They will be on you like a rash. Which is, aggravating. But at the same time, I got a phenomenal teams in BF3 Alpha as well. That's when, for me, the game truly came alive, and I wasn't even thinking that it was an alpha. I thought that alpha was a better product than many retail multiplayers out there. It was insane. We were like pushing. I think the record was, I had a phenomenal team in the very first what's it called, base section of Operation Metro, the park area. I think it took us about 2.5 minutes to clear it. Yeah, we just demolished them. We just pushed through the enemy ranks and planted, and we covered the bombs, and bam, we were off to the next stage. And I think the enemies, it might have been that the enemy team just gave up because they were so fed up with seeing playing the same stage over and over. They wanted to see the whole map for once. I'd like to think that wasn't that wasn't the case. They were actually trying. We were just that good. But who knows? I didn't ask the enemy team if they just gave up so they could see the rest of the map. But yeah, I think that people are definitely exaggerating a little. I think that people need to chill down, and I think that gamers need to just, appreciate Battlefield 3 for what it is. I don't think that, removing a certain feature or adding a certain feature, makes the game bad or bad or worse, bad or good. It's really about, does the features make sense, and the design, does it make sense in the context of the game? And I don't miss Commander, I don't miss squad leaders, I don't miss any of that, because we weren't I didn't use it too much in Battlefield 2, and I didn't see too many other players utilizing Commander or taking responsibility and actually playing Commander as Commander should be played. It's nothing I miss. It's nothing I'm gonna cry about that. Oh God, Commander is not in Battlefield 3. I'm not gonna buy it. Fuck it. That's not what I feel at all. I'm definitely loving this game. It's crazy. I haven't had this fun in a multiplayer for a long time. The only thing that really made me, sad face was, as I said, the team. In game, everything just worked fine. Everything was really polished. Everything felt great. The graphics are nuts. The sound is amazing. The feel is just wow. It was a long time ago I played PC optimized multiplayer that wasn't just a shitty, disgusting port. Which I think that next time I see that a game is a port, I'll just say, you know what? Yeah, fuck you. I'm keeping my money. You can go fuck yourselves. And maybe I should say, just lastly, something that I touched upon, and I touched my briefs on in the last video. That's not the correct way to say it. You say touch briefly on, but you get the joke. It was the whole. Oh no, I lost my train of thought. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? I cannot believe this. I cannot believe. I'm in disbelief. What was I thinking of saying now? All right, the community. No, not the community surrounding. Yes, the community surrounding it. Wait, what was it? Come on, help me out here. It has something to do with that and here, and accepting the game on its own balance. Yeah, I already said that. Ugh. You see, I get what I deserve for talking shit all day. I don't remember what I said, but it couldn't have been, too important because I was thinking it. Just as a summary, then, since I can't remember what I wanted to say, as a summary, I hope everybody can, just enjoy the game on its own merits, instead of, comparing it to the previous games. I don't think that dumbing it down, or making it more advanced does it make it better or worse. It just, it makes it more complicated or it makes it easier to understand or play. That's all it does. For me, what it really comes down to is, the feel of the game and the balance. Really, I mean, damn, a multiplayer without balance. What's the point? What's the point of playing a multiplayer where skill isn't determining whether or not you're owning? For me, I'm baffled by the whole. By the very thought that anything else could determine whether or not you're a good player. I'm just dumbfounded by it. So yeah, I think I've covered basically everything I could about the Battlefield, the disgruntled, the confused Battlefield community. I feel like most people don't know where to stand now. I know exactly where to stand. I'm fucking loving it, especially since I played a lot of Bad Company 2, and I had to endure, the horrible imbalance of that game, and just, and the fucking players. Shit, that's another thing. I just want to bring up really, really fast. Like, people want to take up. People are complaining that Comoros and all that stuff from Battlefield 2 isn't introduced back in Battlefield 2, but again. The stockholders will invest in what they think will sell. I played with some really dumb players in Bad Company 2. I couldn't believe it. And for that, I mean, looking through a stockholders, like an investor's point of view, it makes perfect sense to me that they wouldn't want to, introduce complicated communications features and all that. I mean, people were barely knew how to type in Bad Company 2. You're asking them to goddamn play as commanders now all of a sudden? Actually employing teamwork? Maybe in like a dream world where everybody eats marshmallows for breakfast and rides unicorns to work. Maybe. Not sure, but in a realist, like in our world, and IRL, in real life, So I guess, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to play Battlefield 2, if you had the fortune of playing with really, really good people who understand what the concept, teamwork, solidarity, playing the objective, all those concepts, if they understand what those are, and you were playing with those kind of people in Battlefield 2, then, play Battlefield 2. I'm just hoping that not a lot of retards come to Battlefield 3, because then I think that's gonna really ruin the experience for me. Not that, that there is no that the squads can only hold 4 members rather than 6, or there is no commander that can drop ammo crates and stuff. Those are not nice features. People said that DICE should incorporate it so that it at least becomes like a server, like you could choose if you want to have a commander or not, as a server option. I thought, hey, that's great, but in the end of the day, if I got the option, would you rather have the DICE people focus more on balance than incorporating these things? Then definitely balance. Fuck Commander. I don't think people played Commander very well in BF2 anyways. Yeah, those are my 2 cents. So I really hope that I'll be seeing you on the battlefield. Toodle.